Just wanted to talk about that briefly as part of my budget story. So I'm assuming that's for integration of Riding Mountain National Park trails.
It is, as crazy as it is to believe, that the province is giving us money to build in a national park.
Why is that?
You don't have to put that in your story, but well, I can give you the story.
I know Bob's a big fan, for sure.
Yes, that's it. That's part of it, and the other part of it, kind of, I guess, off the record. But you tweak it however you need to tweak it. But it's the feds don't have any money. They're cutting 15% from their budget for parks, right? So we want the project to happen, and we presented it to the province as, we want it to happen. We think if we come up with some money, we can get the feds to match it, or, do a third. Let's try to find some arrangement to make it happen. Right. And I think Wob realized that he had some conversations after he met with us. He happened to be in Ottawa that next week, and he must have got the wind that there was no money coming, so they just did all of it.
So this is going to cover the bill?
Yeah. Is this a phased approach? Or? Well, it covers everything that Alex has gone in and planned with them. Like, we have it on, like, there's a picture of what we plan to do, and it creates 44 kilometers of trail that connects to North Gates 26. And it's all on paper and mapped out, and he's walked the bush, and he's done all of that. Half of it has been archaeologically surveyed, and environmental is done on half of that. Alex did a costing out for the park, and it came to $1.5 million. So that's what they said. If you can do 44 kilometers of trail for $1.5 million, we think that's a pretty good value, and that's a big deal for the province, right? Because we sold it to them that, it's in a national park, but nobody's flying into a national park or spending money in a national park. They're flying into Winnipeg, and they're spending money in our province, right? And it's cutting our province's healthcare costs if people are out biking, and it's helping to attract people to work in this new justice center if we have recreation that is world class. Like, people need to want to live in Dauphin, not have to live in Dauphin.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, all those things, right, if you dig right into it.
Right. Yeah.
So 44K, you've got half of it ready to go. So the 1.5 does the whole 44 or the half?
Well, the 1.5 should create a trail network of 44 kilometers. Okay. So some of that trail's there already, right? Like Crawford Creek is there, Edwards Creek is there, but it's a lot of fix on some of those sections too. So the offer is that's what it turns into.
To fix and connect.
Yeah.
And when do you anticipate work beginning? We've got the approvals from Parks Canada.
We've had really good discussions with the park. They paid for Alex to do all the engagement. They went in and they did their own flagging in the fall, and they've done work on themselves, like by themselves, on some of it already. Mm-hmm. They had planned to kind of keep picking away at it as they could. But if we could get, basically as soon as we can get a tender or the park, I guess, like part of this is we still need to get some agreements in place between all the players, right? So if the province is going to give the money to the city, and the city is going to go give it to Northgate to go engage with the feds, we have to do some of that. But we've been having those conversations. We're all on the same page.
Just a matter of formalizing.
We got to formalize that, and then they'll have a tendering process that they'll have to follow, because they'll be in charge of it. We'll be able to provide them the funds to make sure that the bills get paid, but they've got different criteria that they have to follow when they're constructing in a national park. So we'll let them be the lead on that.
It's not going to be the big volunteer push that you had initially.
No. We're going to hire a contractor, and the contractor is going to come in and do the work, which is good news for us, because when the park did Boreal Trail, they tried to do it on their own, with their own their own people, and it took 4 years, right? Yeah. So the new superintendent from the get-go, when we started talking about this, when he came in, Tom Sheldon said, "We're not doing that anymore. That's not what we're best at. When they do that, they don't put wood in the country, in the back country, and people are mad, and they're not cutting the trails because they're busy building trails. Yeah. If we're going to put new trail in, we're hiring somebody to do it." So
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Everybody, it's amazing. It's amazing.
What about ongoing maintenance? Who's going to be responsible for that?
That'll be the park. I mean, we like Northgate engaged with the park this year for winter grooming. We groomed part of Edwards Trail. We had an agreement with them to be allowed to go in there. So there might be some of that. I mean, that I guess that the accurate answer remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But because there might be times where like we want to be able to go in and maintain, right? So that if there is a tree down, we'll follow your protocol for chainsaw use, or I mean, we maybe don't say anything about chainsaw use in a national park.
No.
But we'd have to work through that and be what are we allowed to do, what are we not allowed to do, and the other issue with the park is they're union, so if you do too many volunteers in the park, we get our knuckles rapped for engaging with volunteers, which is they're trying to work through that of like, but if you don't have the staff to do the work and you have volunteers who are eager to help, you gotta find a middle ground here.
It's frustrating sometimes, but I mean, to have access to that resource for marketing Dauphin and Gate, I mean, it's just do what they want. And
exactly, that's it. And that's what exactly. Yes. And we'll basically the answer to the maintenance thing is we'll cross that bridge, right? We'll figure it out. There's an answer. There's multiple ways to do it, and we will find a way to do it. Yeah.
Engaged users, I guess, fix certain things when they find them along the way, too.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
So when do you expect work to begin?
It would be... I guess work. But if you classify work as like getting out bids for to tender, it would be the spring, right? We'll try to be moving forward on engaging with contractors. The difficulty we're probably going to have, or the park will have, is that most trail builders have their work lined up for the season, right? Yeah. So we might get pushed into the fall, but from a trail work and a nesting species habitat perspective too.
Probably better.
Fall is better, because there's stuff we can't do in the spring because of bird nesting season. So, it might be fair to say that we expect most of the work to be completed in the fall.
So this announcement didn't really come as a surprise to you.
Sort of.
Sort of. We knew something was coming.
Well, we were having discussions with the province about how to assist us in engaging with Riding Mountain National Park. The dollar amount surprised me. Just because we had asked for some money to go and leverage the park, but I'm reading between the lines that they understood that if they gave me part of it, I wasn't going to be able to cross the finish line and leverage it. It was going to be all they might as well not give me anything because I wasn't going to be able to convince the feds to come up with extra money. Yeah. So they just wanted the project to happen. So, so we were engaging, and we knew that the province was very excited about Northgate. When Wob came out for Ukrainian night, he wanted to go for a fat bike ride. But it was, he had connected with Mayor Boziak about doing that. But it was minus 40, and so instead of doing that on the Sunday morning, we just sat down and had a meeting and showed him a map of what could happen.
Wow. Good. Well, you're building a beautiful thing for us.
Well,
thanks for your effort.
Yeah, it's exciting to see it actually come to fruition. I'm a little. I won't say we're there yet, but all the pieces are falling into place, and all the right people are in the right positions. I don't know. I haven't heard any negatives yet. Everything always has a naysayer, but. You might hear it, but
the cave people are out there for sure.
Yeah. Why are we spending money on this? We should be fixing the X, Y, or Z, or all those classic arguments that don't give money to Y because there's problems in Z, right?
Exactly.
But whatever. that never
just tune that shit out.
I always do, right? Yeah. And I always say I'm not taking criticism from somebody I wouldn't ask for advice from.
Yeah. So. That's a good policy. I'm going to use that one.
Right? If I wouldn't go to you and be like, hey, I need your opinion on this, why do I care about what your criticism is?
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah. So that's how I've gotten as far as I have.
I can turn away a lot of critics.
Right? You certainly could, yeah. And I've had a few people scoff at me and say that you're dreaming, this will never happen. There's no way that the park is ever going to build any new trail. What a waste of your time. And that fuels me, too.
You're too big of a man to throw it back in their face now.
Yeah. I just know that I prove them wrong internally, and that's the fire that sometimes lights me to keep pushing.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that covers everything I need.
Good.
Thanks for getting back to me so quickly.
Yeah, and I was very candid with you, and I trust that you'll take only the relevant portions.
Yeah, no, I'm not. You're not going to screw things up at this point.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll keep you posted. I think we're going to try to do some community engagement in May, I think.
Okay.
Bring the park out, and I'll let you know when we do that, and you guys can do it.
Oh, I wanted to mention you, too, that Trails conference is coming to Winnipeg. Is there any way to connect that to you?
Yes. Alex and I are speaking at it. We have got some of the Northgate story will be told at that Trails conference, and
maybe bring some people out, or that's
it might people might want to do that kind of pre or post conference. I had looked at saying like, oh, we should do that, we should make a thing, and I had actually booked the hall at Salah, but then I was like, well, when am I finding the time to organize this? So I put that on the back burner just because I don't have the capacity to organize it. But if we can build up our which is part of that meeting in May, will be to be like, hey, do you want to be involved in Northgate? Because here's the things that we can do now. We need to start ramping up and hosting events and look at the future. So
perfect.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks for your time, Sean. Okay, bye.